Hello and welcome to I Have Gnosis Tarot. My name is Ewan and today we are looking at a Valentine's reading for the sign of Scorpio, and that is for Scorpio Sun, Rising, Moon and Venus signs. And I don't usually do the Venus sign, but it is Valentine's Day, so we're going to be doing the Venus sign. And today we are looking at what I call the Temple of Love spread. In a moment we're going to go through what that looks like. And today I'm using the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck. I am shuffling it now, so I'm not cheating when we look at the shadow card. This is an Art Nouveau style deck. I usually use the Thoth Tarot deck, but I thought this one looked nice for Valentine's Day, Scorpio. If you're wondering why I'm bright red, it's because I've just come out of a hot shower. And also my eyes have gone tiny because I'm just woken up really here in dingy England. Yes, we're going to walk through what the reading is going to look like for you, Scorpio, and this can be done for any kind of relationship, by the way. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I think it's going to have that edge today because it is Valentine's Day. And it can be past relationships, current relationships, or prospective relationships. And if you don't resonate with what is here today, do go and look at your birth chart and see where your Sun, Rising, Moon and Venus signs are, because that may be different from Scorpio. Because I'm guessing a lot of you are Scorpio Suns here today, but you might have something like a Libra Venus. So go and look at the reading that has your sign in one of those placements. And there's plenty of free birth charts online, by the way, Scorpio, so you don't have to pay for these things. Of course, if you need your rising sign, you will need your birth time. Right, this reading, Scorpio, let's clear away some of the dust. We're going to have a column here, which is going to represent you. And we're going to have your thoughts, feelings, and actions towards this relationship. And then we're going to have exactly the same here. And this is going to be for that special person in your life, your paramour. And they're going to have what they bring to the relationship, what you bring to the relationship, what the relationship is like now. And then we're going to have the near future, the mid future, and the far future regarding this relationship. Now, the future is not set. These act more as advice cards at the bottom, and they will only really come to pass if the columns remain the same. So if we have well dignified columns, then perhaps just keep doing what you're doing, Scorpio. Of course, you can't change what they do, but by changing what you do, perhaps that will change what they do. But if you have an ill-dignified reading, then Scorpio, then perhaps we need to be making some changes in our lives. And you are all about change, Scorpio, so I know that's not difficult for you. So let's have a think. I'm saying that you are a fixed sign, which is rather ironic. I'm going to shuffle the deck a bit more as I go through what Scorpio means to me. Now, I always do this section just to be a bit transparent. So I am of the generation that had Pluto in Scorpio. So you can probably work out around about when I was born and how old I am from that. And I also have my Jupiter in Scorpio, which is, I always think is... I've heard it's a good thing, and it is in a way, but I always think it's a double-edged blade in the sense that, so Jupiter is expansive and Scorpio is deep. So I look at everything in a really deep way, which is probably why I'm doing tarot. It's kind of, it is difficult, I'm not going to lie, because your brain gets overloaded with stuff. And my Scorpio, I'm just having a look at my chart now, spans my 10th and nearly all my 11th house. So I tend to make friends with creepy people, and I don't mean creepy in like way. I mean in the sense of like strange people who are very deep and a bit intense. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like those people who are deep and intense because that is what I'm all about, expanding in my life, and also transforming in my life too. With my Pluto in Scorpio, I do work in psychology and I do work with mental health, so that's quite fitting. Again, spanning my 10th house. Okay, well, without further, that's enough waffling about me, Scorpio. Let's talk about you. So we're going to pull the first card, and this is going to be your thoughts, Scorpio. Let's do it. Oh, and just do think about that person right now, who is that special person in your life. And I think we're thinking positive thoughts here, Scorpio, because the Temperance card is my favourite looking card in the Ethereal Visions deck. It is Sagittarius's card. It's the art card in the Thoth deck. I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, and this is all about the balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine coming together to create gold, the elixir of life, also known as love. This is an advancement on the Lover's card. The Lover's card is the honeymoon period. Temperance is the card where you grow old together, but you never lose that spark. And it's such a beautiful card to start with in this reading for you, Scorpio. Okay, I'm going to put down what's going on in your heart, your feelings, Scorpio. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which is great. It's probably one of the more well-dignified 8 cards in the tarot spread. It's the Eight of Discs in the tarot spread, and is also known as Prudence. So Prudence is collecting things and stocking up. It is a Virgo card, and that's the way I see this card. I mean, we have a blacksmith in the image here, but I more associate it with the Thoth card, which shows like a plant with all its fruit on, the discs being the fruit. It is harvest time, collecting your stock for the winter, much like Virgo. That's some beautiful energy already there for you, Scorpio, with the Temperance and the Eight of Pentacles. Now, what's happening with your actions towards this relationship? And we have the Queen of Swords. You are using your discernment, Scorpio. It's very much, even though you are a water sign, I will say the Queen of Swords does have water in her. She is the water of air. She's depicted on the Thoth card as sitting on a cloud overlooking the world, the sword pointed down, and in her other hand is the head of the ego, which has been cleanly cut, because she is objective and uses her discernment to whittle out lies and slander. So we've already got some really good cards here for you, Scorpio. And I'm not going to lie, like I say, although I would say that you're more associated with the Prince/King of Cups, I also think that the Queen of Swords is a fitting card for Scorpio. Right, let's get on to that other person, hey? Okay, what's going on in their mind? Oh, and here we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so this is about speed. Very much a exact, can rush to conclusions at times. It's the jumping jack flash card, as I call it. It's very fast, almost as fast as the Knight of, in fact probably faster than the Knight of Wands, but it's all air, the fire of air, and if you know anything about fire and air when they are combined, it usually sets a great flame, but it burns brightly and quickly, but not very long, and not particularly hot either. It's the embers, which are the heat of a fire. Okay, let's draw what's going on in their heart for you, Scorpio. The Death card, that is your card, Scorpio, your major arcana. It is the transformation card. It does not have to be the literal interpretation of death. We can take this, therefore, 2 ways. This can be a death, an end, in terms of the relationship, or a potential relationship, or a past relationship. But the more positive spin on it is they are transforming their feelings towards you in terms of perhaps falling in love, or something's just going on, something in the relationship, or the potential relationship, or the past, has caused a deep and lasting transformation in their heart. So this doesn't have to be the negative interpretation, Scorpio, and it is your card as well. So if you are looking to transform people's hearts, you're doing it. Okay, now we're going to look at the actions towards this relationship, Scorpio. We have the Five of Wands, strife. Okay, this is interesting. Perhaps there is a bit of a rock and a hard place for this other person. I think you are like the Queen of Swords, looking over this relationship. You think it's well balanced. You think that this is perhaps the one for you. You know your stuff, and you've been collecting all this information. Perhaps physical assets too related to this relationship. But as for them, there is this rush. Something's changing, and it's causing a lot of strife in their life. Now, whether this is strife towards you, I do not know yet, Scorpio. We're going to see that when we look at what they are bringing to the relationship, which I'll do now, actually. So what is this other person bringing to the relationship? The Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant is about seeking truth and getting in touch with your intuition, searching for intuition. It's the Shaman archetype, and this is the opposite card to you. This is Taurus, and I wonder whether they're trying to figure out what you're all about, Scorpio. And if anyone knows how to keep their secrets, it is you. And this may be secrets. You may have physical assets that you're not necessarily wanting to divulge, and maybe you're working out whether to divulge these secrets about you and your past. It could be, for example, this is a potential relationship. You might not have told them that you have children. You might not have told them that you have a big fancy house, or that actually you have a lot of money. So this could be that. Trying to work out whether you definitely think this relationship is well dignified, but you don't know whether you should tell them all about this right now. Or at least you're working that out now, and I think they can sense something. They can sense something's not being said, or at least they're seeking that sense. Okay, now I'm going to put down what you're bringing to the relationship, Scorpio. The Knight of Cups. Okay, so the Knight of Cups is very much a giver. He is the knight, the White Knight of the Tarot, a bit of a saviour archetype, but more the archetype of someone who wants to be a saviour, as opposed to the saviour with a capital S. So that's very interesting, Scorpio. So I feel like you are perhaps looking at this person, and perhaps you've seen that they've been through a lot of strife in their life. A little bit of a rhyme there. And you feel like perhaps you are the one to transform them, and something is definitely doing that. Maybe they've gone through some toxic relationships. Maybe they've gone through, maybe you've gone through a toxic period of your relationship, or a messy breakup. But now something has sparked, something new, and this is causing them to rush towards it with their mind, and it's definitely causing a transformation. But I think there's parts of them in their day-to-day lives that it's affecting. Maybe if you're on a dating app, they just don't have the time, or perhaps maybe you're texting them too much or too little. This is causing strife in their actions. Maybe you are somebody that their family might not get on with. Whatever it is, there's something causing them conflict. But as we know, if you do know anything about the tarot, whilst all the 5 cards are rather difficult, because they represent the first instability of the Tree of Life, the Five of Wands is perhaps the most well dignified of the 4 fives, should I say. And in the Book of Thoth, Aleister Crowley does say that it is a rather necessary thing is strife, and should be endorsed, for it gets rid of stagnation. And this very much is supporting this Death card and the way that you think, Scorpio, which is that sometimes we have to introduce a little bit of strife in order to get things moving and to get people to change. Okay. It's already looking very good, Scorpio. I'm just going to move these cards up a bit. And then we're going to look at what the present situation is like in this relationship. Potential, past, or present. Okay. What have we got here then, Scorpio? The Ace of Pentacles. Now this has come up quite a few times in our readings for Valentine's Day, which is very interesting. So this is new physical beginnings. This is the seed that needs to be planted or has been planted. And I think a seed has been planted here. And perhaps this is because you have harvested a lot of your fruits, so to speak, the fruits of your labours. And now you've planted a seed with them. And I think they're just trying to work out at the moment what this seed is. Trying to understand. And you may have planted a seed inside of them. I think that's very much a scorpionic thing to do. It's kind of like the tail, putting the poison into them, but it doesn't always have to be a deadly poison. It's kind of like the yogis who allow who ingest the cobra venom, and apparently it has amazing mystical qualities. I'm not quite certain about that, and I don't know enough about it to have a judgment on that. I wouldn't recommend trying it unless you are a Vedic yogi. So yes, I think this is quite clear that you've planted something in them. The Knight of Cups is a giver, and perhaps you're watering this with your cup. And we've got quite a balanced energy here. Got all the elements now with that Ace of Pentacles, and the Hierophant is of course a Taurus card. And of course you've got your Eight of Pentacles there. Right, let's see what's in the near future, Scorpio. Oh, that is beautiful. The Star. And this is we are in the season of Aquarius at the moment. This is the Aquarius Major Arcana. Very much linked, actually, I would say, to these air cards here. And this is hope. And hope in a very deep sense. In fact, it's the weird thing is the Major Arcana, they tend to run in the background, but they're very potent. Extremely potent. The kind of things you can't run away from. And this looks like a sense of hope as opposed to a belief. So you might not be actively hoping for something, but there's this just general aura of there's going to be a new dawn and a new day, and a new life for you. And hopefully this relationship, so if this is a past relationship, it could be perhaps we're getting back together, or at least a hope that there is, a feeling that there is, that they might have done some shadow work and transformed themselves, and now they're just trying to suss out what's going on. If it's a present relationship, there could have been a little bit of, I don't know, well, I'm going to keep saying the word strife, and now we're coming back together again. This is definitely what this feels like, coming back together. And an offer of peace or emotional support. And if it is a prospective relationship, then this could be maybe you did something that put this person off, but now they're changing their mind. Like it triggered them, but it wasn't you. Wasn't you as such. It's something you did. The difference between guilt and shame. Something you did, not you, triggered them. And they realised that it was their trigger that triggered them, not you necessarily. So there's this new changing their beliefs here, and now we've got this new dawn. Some beautiful energy there. I mean, we've got what's that? 3 major arcana, 4 major arcana at the moment. Yes, 4 major arcana. Okay. What about the mid-future? It's looking good so far, Scorpio. The Hanged Man, so that brings us to 5 major arcana. The Hanged Man is the sacrifice card, and it's a very deep and meaningful sacrifice, something integral to your life. And this looks like that you both will need to sacrifice something as a result of this hope, and that is a well-dignified sacrifice. This is a sacrifice that will lead to a brighter future, and we must learn how to let go. It could be letting go of past scruples. It could be letting go of things that are holding this relationship back, whether that be materially, emotionally, or spiritually. This could be letting go of habits. This can be letting go of anything that's happening in your life and their life, really, Scorpio, that could affect this relationship. This new seed has been planted. I suppose it may be that this plant in your garden does not get on with certain other plants in your garden, and whilst you like those other plants, you know that this is the one that's going to be giving you the fruit of life. So you must do some weeding and get rid of them, get rid of the other plants. And it's not particularly nice because you like these other plants, but it's necessary. I think this final card will cement, solidify, and confirm what is going on here. And the Devil, we've had this a couple of times, 3 times I think, in the Valentine's readings, and that is Capricorn energy. And the Devil is a misunderstood. Oh no, my camera. The Devil is a misunderstood energy. It is not evil. The Devil. It is a focus on material things. It is a focus on ambition. Getting one up on other people, ego, and it's rather these things can lead to evil if they are endorsed to their fullest extent. Let's do a bit of a shuffle of cards, because I think I just glimpsed what the shadow of a card is and I can't do that. So let's shuffle them. And that's quite interesting that I got the Devil card and that happened. I'm a Capricorn. So this looks like after the sacrifice, there is this focus on the material. I think here it's that you have created this new life together with all these material benefits. Maybe you're indulging in those material benefits, and again you might not necessarily be aware of that because this is in the background. This is quite good that we've got 3 major arcana though, so it's very powerful, this relationship, especially with your card here, Scorpio. I do wonder whether they are a Capricorn, this other person. I know that the Hierophant is Earth energy, it's Taurus, but there is change here, which is very much the opposite of Taurus. Taurus is very stubborn. I think they've been in a stubborn place and you've caused them strife. They're changing, rushing towards this new idea, and it's causing them to change their beliefs. Planted this new seed. There's now hope, but we need to let go of something. And I think letting go of this something is something material. This could be a past relationship, for example. Or perhaps it could be the opposite actually. I think it's letting go maybe of something very spiritual and very emotional actually. And that's leading to this Devil card, I think, actually, that there may be more focus on the material in this relationship than in a past relationship or in the past of this relationship. Maybe you need to do things together more. And yes, that does include SEX, which is your sphere anyway, Scorpio. I do think that Scorpio and Capricorn are kind of like a power couple. And this might be it. Power, that is the 4 of Pentacles, is the sort of the minor arcana version of this card, the like lesser version. So this is like a very deep power. I mean, that could be it. Actually, yeah, I think that is it. Actually, I think it is you are going to become this power couple, and just like the Devil card, with great power comes great responsibility, and can be used for good or ill. And it could very much be, in one reality, you could become insane narcissists and ruin people's lives, and in another reality, you become these wonderful healers of the material realm, the redemption of Lucifer, because you have all the skills. they have their intuition, you have your discernment and your love. They've transformed, they have personal experience of this, and you are well balanced and well dignified, Scorpio. So I think this is looking good. Yeah, I do think this is a well dignified devil because we've made a sacrifice. And in that sense, if we look at this in Christian mythology, we see the concept of the Christ archetype embodied in the Hanged Man, letting go of the physical realm in order to redeem the physical realm. But one has to enter the physical realm in order to do that. So I think this is very well dignified. It's kind of two sides of the same coin here, and I'm sorry if any of you are very deep and devotional Christians. I am not against Christianity. I do endorse the Christ archetype myself. However, I see it more in this esoteric sense, that essentially the concept of Lucifer is the flip side to the concept of Christ. And this is very much seen in the Kabbalistic tree of life, whereby Christ consciousness is here, the route back to Kether, the supreme consciousness, the Godhead, the consciousness running through us all. And then we have the root, because all the lines of the major arcana, the actual Sephiro are the minor arcana, and we see here that the devil connects stasis with Christ consciousness, and when ill-dignified it goes towards stasis, and then back to Malkuth where we all live, but when well-dignified we can go to a very dark place in our lives, and then through Christ consciousness we can be redeemed. So it's this double-edged dual aspect to it. Okay, so I do believe actually there may be some sort of walking through the desert, 40 days, 40 nights, and that's quite appropriate. We're coming up to Easter. And if this does happen on Shrove Tuesday for you, then wow. This is quite amazing. But there's definitely going to be, I think, this sort of 40 days and 40 nights, and overcoming any ill-dignified aspects of the material pleasure, material endorsement, the ego endorsement. But I think because we have this temperance here, going back to the Tree of Life, the temperance card is the path from Yesod, which is kind of the Holy Spirit, to Christ consciousness, which again leads us back to Kether. I do think that because of that, this is very much, like I say, that redeeming. We're using the material world to usurp the material world, because we have bodies, and we have a responsibility in this lifetime to look after them and the bodies of others, because it is the only way that consciousness can experience itself. This is very much the I've made references to this band before in these videos, but the Tool song Parabola, this body holding me, be my reminder here that I am not alone in this holy reality. And I think this is very much, that would sum up the bottom three cards here. So we've done a bit more Kabbalah there than we've done in previous readings, but I think because of the number of major arcana here, that was necessary, Scorpio. So I think quite fittingly, yours is the most esoteric of the readings I've done so far. Who knows, maybe Sagittarius will be more, and Capricorn, because they're the two last ones I need to do. But this has been a very, very interesting reading for you, Scorpio. Now I have reshuffled the deck because I did see what was at the bottom. And if you have a prediction as to what the new card is at the bottom, please do put that in the comments below. And that will act as the shadow card is a warning is quite a strong word. I think more it is something to be mindful of with regard to this relationship. Now, having now shuffled the deck, I predict maybe we will get the Four of Pentacles, which will be saying, don't, by re-entering the matrix to usurp it, don't get lost back in it. Don't become like Cypher in the first Matrix film. The Matrix being an analogy for Malkuth, where we live. We may have the Seven of Cups, debauch. Again, very similar concept, but rather than material gain, that is more about emotional pursuit and getting lost in it. SEX, drugs and violence, addictions, and an Eight of Cups as well. So I think even Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, or a Four of Pentacles. And now, we may get a major arcana, but I think because of the number of major arcana we've got here, it would have to be a very powerful major arcana to usurp any of these wonderful cards we have here. And I think in that sense, we may get the Tower. It's a bit cliche, I've said it before, but I'd say that's one of the most powerful. It's telling us perhaps to be mindful that there's going to be a very difficult and very sudden difficult period, but I think this is more prolonged. I think this is like 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, so I don't think it will be the Tower. But we may get the Emperor card, which is about control and not getting, again, lost in this control. Okay. Because there is this concept of spiritual egotism, whereby once we know how reality works, we think that we are it. We are, but so is everyone. So the ego starts believing that it is the only thing. Again, that's that concept of Lucifer falling and becoming Satan. Okay. We have that is the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is completion in the Thoth Tarot deck. It is associated with marriage in terms of most relationship interpretations, but I think that's more of a simplistic way of looking at it. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that seems to be the one reading that everyone jumps to, and that could be it. That could be a warning of not to think that everything is now complete. Now we have this power couple, and there are many power couples that have split up in the past, and that's usually because of the conflict of power. I think that is the warning. It's not over yet, Scorpio. Even when you reach this, you've done the 40 days and 40 nights, and you come back and you have all this wisdom to spread. I mean, we have to remember that most of Jesus' ministry happened after that 40 days and 40 nights, and as we all know, the New Testament didn't end there. And this is quite interesting. This is this very Christian message to it. This reading. Yes. So I think there's going to be a lot of transformation in this relationship at the moment, Scorpio. No matter whether that is a past, future, or present one. And this card is telling us that the energy carries on. The Wands are energy, can't be created or destroyed, and there's going to be more transformation to come. So we have transformation in this person, at least at the moment, and we have further transformation here. And this is saying that doesn't mean that we are now all good. There's plenty more to come. Be ready. And I think you are in a good position to be ready, Scorpio. Whether they are or not, I do not know. But I think here, with your discernment, your wealth in your heart, and your balance and this love you have to give, you are more than prepared for this, Scorpio. Now, thank you very much for joining me today, Scorpio, in this reading. If you liked what you saw today or found it useful, please hit that like button below and do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon if you want to see more readings in the future. I also do tutorials on how to do tarot readings, which I will be doing in the coming weeks. And we've also started a series on the Thoth deck, looking through all of the cards. I'm currently doing the Suit of Wands, and there is also a companion piece on my Instagram which is going through each of the cards if you want to read about them as opposed to listen to me. And also I attach a song to each of the cards which gives me the vibe of the card, and there is a Spotify playlist below which has the entire tarot on it. So thank you very much, Scorpio, for joining me today, and be prepared, and I know you can do this. Right, thank you very much, Scorpio, and I will see you later. Goodbye.